What if I told you that some reggae legends have been blacklisted? From Shaba ranks, whose career ended after making homophobic remarks on live television, to Vybz, who was banned from multiple countries due to his lyrics and alleged ties to violence. Here are 12 reggae legends who were blacklisted by the industry. Number 1. Buju Banton. There was a time when Buju Banton, one of Jamaica's most powerful voices in reggae and dancehall, found himself blacklisted by much of the music world. As a teenager, Buju recorded a song called Boom Bye Bye. He was only 15 at the time, and in it, the lyrics talked about violence against gay men. Years later, in '92, the song was re-released when Buju was 19, and it quickly caused outrage around the world. People called the lyrics hateful and dangerous. The backlash was so strong that Buju had to speak out. He apologized publicly and tried to explain himself, but the damage was already done. By 2009, the protests against him grew louder. LGBTQ+ groups across the US asked venues not to let Buju perform. Many clubs and festivals listened. He was blocked from shows. Some even labeled him as a promoter of hate. In 2007, there was a campaign called Stop Murder Music, which pushed reggae artists to stop spreading hate in their lyrics. A few musicians, including Buju, were said to have signed a pledge called the Reggae Compassionate Act. It was a promise to leave behind hateful messages and spread love and respect instead. But Buju later denied signing it, even though he did stop performing the song Boom Bye Bye at some concerts. Still, the controversy followed him for years. It wasn't until 2019 that Buju took a firm and final step. He removed Boom Bye Bye from all music platforms like Apple Music and Spotify. He made it clear, the song was gone for good. He wouldn't sing it again. Buju released a statement saying he understood how much pain the song had caused. He said, "In recent days, there has been a great deal of press coverage about the song Boom Bye Bye from my past, which I long ago stopped performing and removed from any platform that I control or have influence over. I recognize that the song has caused much pain to listeners, as well as to my fans, my family, and myself. After all the adversity we've been through, I am determined to put this song in the past and continue moving forward as an artist and as a man. I affirm once and for all that everyone has the right to live as they so choose." Number 2. Beanie Man. Beanie Man, one of Jamaica's most famous dancehall artists, once ruled the stage. He won DJ of the Year 8 times in a row and even earned a Grammy in 2001 for his album Art and Life. But behind the awards and big hits, there was a side of his career that sparked anger and controversy. Some of Beanie Man's early songs had lyrics that many believed encouraged violence against gay people. As his music spread across the world, these lyrics didn't go unnoticed. In 2004, protests from gay rights groups led MTV to remove him from the Video Music Awards. That same year, a concert of his in the UK was cancelled, and when he arrived at Heathrow Airport, the police stopped him for questioning. After this backlash, Beanie Man's record label released a statement apologizing for the hurt his lyrics had caused. And in 2005, a gay rights group called Outrage agreed to stop protesting him, but only after he promised not to perform those kinds of songs again. He returned to the stage in London, but the controversy didn't disappear. In 2006, Beanie Man tried to defend himself. He said his lyrics weren't about gay people, but about pedophilia. Then, in 2007, it was reported that he had signed something called the Reggae Compassionate Act, a pledge by artists to stop performing anti-gay material. But later, Beanie Man denied ever signing it. Even with apologies and promises, protests continued. By 2010, his shows were still being cancelled in countries like New Zealand, Belgium, and the Netherlands. In 2012, Beanie Man once again spoke to the public, this time more directly. He asked people not to judge him for songs he had written years ago. He said, "I respect all human beings. I love everyone," he added, "and I'm asking you to do the same." But even after that, his message wasn't always clear. In other interviews, he said things like, "I never apologized," and told people to stop bothering him and try to understand his culture. There was a time when Beanie Man's name was on posters all around the world. But during those years of protest and canceled shows, he was seen by many as someone the industry wanted to distance itself from. Whether he meant to change or not, for a long time, Beanie Man was blacklisted. Then, in 2015, a news outlet in New Zealand called to ask him about the issue again. Beanie Man didn't answer the question, he hung up the phone. Number 3. Sizzla Kalonji. Sizzla is a Jamaican reggae musician. He is one of the most commercially and critically successful contemporary reggae artists, and is noted for his high number of releases. However, many of Sizzla's songs included strong anti-gay messages, with lyrics that some people said encouraged violence against the LGBTQ+ community. As his music reached more countries, the backlash grew. In 2004, the UK government stepped in and banned him from entering the country for a string of concerts. A British LGBT group, Outrage, told officials that Sizzla had used hateful language both in his songs and on stage. They pointed to a concert in Jamaica where he insulted and threatened gay men, and an interview where he said, "Burn sodomite, burn baddie man, burn all things that are wrong." One of his songs even had the line, "Fire feedy man dem way go ride man behind," which roughly translates to, "Burn the men who have sex with other men." It wasn't just one lyric, it was a pattern that people could no longer ignore. In 2007, shows in Canada were cancelled after protests by a group. The group warned that giving Sizzla a stage was dangerous. The following year, Sizzla's troubles spread to Europe. His visa was revoked in Germany, cutting his tour short and forcing him to return to the US. He claimed he was just expressing himself as an artist, but for many, that wasn't a good enough excuse. No matter what he said in defense of his lyrics, the message from the music industry was clear. Sizzla was no longer welcome. By 2009 and 2010, his concerts in Germany were still getting cancelled. In 2012, it got worse. Protests shut down his shows in Madrid, Ghent, Stockholm, and Lisbon. Even though his team released a statement saying he respected the laws of every country he performed in, the damage was done. Once welcomed by fans around the world, Sizzla began to face closed doors everywhere he went. Concert after concert got cancelled. Promoters pulled out. Governments denied him entry. Fans were divided. Number 4. Kapton. Kapton was once one of the loudest voices in reggae and dancehall music. His first big hit, Bumbo Red, was so explicit it was banned from Jamaican radio, but that only made people want to hear it more. He gained even more fame after performing at the 1980 Reggae Sunsplash Festival, and he kept the momentum going with songs like Number 1 Pawn, The Look Good Chart, and Lotion Man. However, as Kapton's popularity grew, the problems surrounding him also grew. Many of his songs included harsh lyrics about gay people, which drew strong criticism from international human rights groups and LGBTQ+ activists. His manager tried to calm things down by saying the lyrics were misunderstood, and Kapton himself said that words like burn and fire were just metaphors meant for spiritual cleansing, not real violence. But not everyone bought that explanation. The backlash hit hard. In 2008, Kapton's concert in Switzerland was cancelled after protests. 2 years later, his entire US tour was called off. Organizers and venues didn't want to be part of anything that might promote hate. More and more countries began to turn their backs on him, even as he defended himself, saying his beliefs came from his Rastafarian faith. The music world began to move on without him. Number 5. Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer is a Jamaican reggae and dancehall artist known for his tough, streetwise style. In the 90s, he became famous as one of the most aggressive voices in dancehall, often rapping about guns and violence. Before music, he worked selling figurines, but soon started recording at King Jammy's studio in Kingston in '92. One of his early songs, Copper Shot, talked about gun culture so strongly that King Jammy didn't want to release it. But Jammy's brother, Uncle T, released it anyway, and it became a hit underground in Jamaica and New York. However, Bounty Killer's music also brought him trouble. In 2003, he had to cancel 2 concerts after the LGBT magazine Outrage asked Scotland Yard to arrest him because some of his songs encouraged violence against gay people. After a break, he returned in 2006 and performed without censoring his lyrics. But since then, he said he would focus more on social issues and party songs and avoid attacking the gay community in his music. Still, the backlash didn't stop. In the UK and Germany, many of his concerts were cancelled after protests over his lyrics about killing homosexuals. The German government even announced that singers who promote violence like Bounty Killer would be refused visas in the future. This caused him to lose thousands of pounds, especially when shows outside London in Bradford and Birmingham were cancelled. Germany also cancelled his shows in Dortmund, Essen, and Berlin, and a concert in Antwerp, Belgium, was called off too. Groups like the Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination praised these bans, saying Bounty Killer's music glorified violence and called for the killing of gay people. The group also said that strict rules should be made for entertainers coming to their countries. At one of his recent shows, there were reports of gunfire and shouting abuse against gay people. A DJ at the concert called for bad men to show up as Bounty Killer prepared to perform. But after power outages during the event, Bounty Killer was asked to leave early. This upset the crowd so much that they threw bottles at the stage in protest. Because of all this, Bounty Killer faced strong rejection from many places. The music world seemed to shut its doors on him, canceling his shows and refusing to welcome him because of the violent messages in his songs. It felt like he had been quietly blacklisted, losing many chances to perform and grow his career outside of Jamaica. Number 6. Elephant Man. Elephant Man is a Jamaican dancehall artist who first got started in music in '95 as part of a group called Scare Dem Crew before going solo. He became known for his bright yellow-orange hair, his rough, low-pitched voice, and his energetic stage shows where he would jump, run, and even climb on stage equipment. His singing style is a raspy grumble with a slight lisp that makes him stand out. He gained international attention in 2004 when the sports brand Puma used his song All Out in a commercial for the Olympics. Many of his tracks appeared on popular dancehall music collections, and he performed on famous dance rhythms like Diwali and Coolie. One of his songs inspired the Gully Creeper dance, which Usain Bolt famously did after winning a gold medal and breaking a world record at the 2008 Olympics. In 2009, Elephant Man showed respect for Michael Jackson by releasing a cover of We Are the World. But his career has also been troubled. Some of his songs contain lyrics that call for violence against gay people. In 2003, a British LGBT group named Outrage asked the police to arrest him and other dancehall stars for hate crimes. Because of this, he was dropped from the MOBO Awards in 2004. After that, pressure from his record label and agreements with gay rights groups led him to avoid singing songs that were seen as promoting violence against gays, which allowed him to keep performing in the UK. Still, problems followed. In 2009, his concert at Toronto's Carabana Festival was cancelled for similar reasons. Then, in 2015, a show in Munich was also cancelled after LGBT groups asked police to make sure he would not perform songs encouraging harm against gay people. Because of these ongoing controversies and cancelled shows, Elephant Man's career has faced serious challenges, and many venues and countries have rejected his performances. It seemed like his history of controversial lyrics led to him being blacklisted from some parts of the music industry. If you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Number 7. Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel is a Jamaican dancehall DJ known as the King of Dancehall. According to Rolling Stone, he became a kind of folk hero in Jamaica because of his bold lyrics and playful but sometimes shocking public personality. Few artists in dancehall have kept the audience hooked or upset their critics as much as Kartel has. He first became famous in 2003 with several hit songs in Jamaica. That year ended with a planned on-stage battle with Ninja Man at the Big Sting Festival in Portmore, Kartel's hometown. But the clash turned violent when Kartel, his crew, and Ninja Man started throwing punches and fighting on stage. At first, Kartel's manager blamed Ninja Man for the fight, but Kartel quickly said sorry to Ninja Man and the festival organizers. Just 4 days after the fight, the two musicians appeared before the media to say they had settled their problems and ended their feud. In 2004, Kartel was nominated for the UK MOBO Awards, but this nomination was taken away because many people were upset about his lyrics, which some said were homophobic. 6 years later, in 2010, Kartel signed the Reggae Compassionate Act. This was a pledge made by artists to stop making music with anti-gay lyrics. The act was organized by the Peter Tatchell Foundation and other groups fighting homophobia in music. However, in 2011, the National Communications Network in Guyana banned Kartel's music from their radio stations. This was the first time they banned music from a single artist. The NCN spokesperson, Martin Goul-Saran, said Kartel's songs had obscene lyrics and did not bring anything good to entertainment in Guyana. In 2025, the Ethnic Relations Commission issued a strong criticism of Kartel's song, Good Like Jesus, which was released in 2024. The ERC said the song's lyrics were blasphemous and deeply offensive to the Christian community. They explained that Jesus is a very important figure in Christianity and is also respected in other major religions like Islam and some Hindu beliefs. The ERC's statement made it clear that many people found the song's content disrespectful. Because of these controversies, bans, and protests, Vybz Kartel has often faced rejection and censorship from the music industry and governments. These actions show how his music has sometimes led to him being blacklisted or blocked from performing and having his songs played, all because of the strong reactions to his lyrics and public image. Number 8. T.O.K. T.O.K. is a dancehall reggae group from Kingston, Jamaica. As of 24, the group members are Alistair McCalla, Roshan Clark, Craig Thompson, and Xavier Davidson, who now goes by Ja Flex. They started the band in '96 and stayed together until 2015, when they announced they were breaking up. But in '22, they came back together and released a new song called NPLH, Home, featuring Shams the producer. T.O.K. became one of the main targets of the campaign because of their song Chi Chi Man. The song contains lyrics that call for the killing of gay men, which caused a lot of anger and protests. The group refused to sign the Reggae Compassion Act, a pledge by artists to stop singing anti-gay songs. However, in August 2009, before performing in Zurich, T.O.K. made their own contract called the T.O.K. Compassion Act. In this contract, they said, "We respect and uphold the rights of all individuals to live without fear of hatred and violence due to their religion, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, or gender." In February 23, 3 members of T.O.K., McCalla, Thompson, and Clark reunited for a performance at Big Yard Studio in Kingston, which was hosted by BBC Radio 1 Extra. During their set, they chose not to perform Chi Chi Man, even though the audience and hosts asked for it. After the show, Clark explained their decision by saying, "Because we feel like the music should really unite people, we've made a decision to not perform the song because we don't want to offend any of our fans." But soon after, Thompson disagreed with Clark. He posted on Instagram, though he later deleted the post, saying, "As for me, I don't respect all sexual orientations. My respect is not contingent on anybody's sexual orientation. As a matter of fact, I would prefer not to know sexual orientations." Because of the backlash over Chi Chi Man and their refusal to fully support anti-hate campaigns, T.O.K. faced many challenges in their career. They were often seen as part of the problem in promoting violence through music, and this led to cancellations of shows and restrictions in some countries. Number 9. Shaba Ranks. Shaba Ranks is a Jamaican dancehall musician who rose to international fame in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Unlike some of his peers who sang, Shaba became famous mostly for toasting, which is like rapping over a beat. He was a student of DJ Josie Wales and originally went by the stage name Co-Pilot. His career took off alongside other Jamaican artists like Coco T and Crystal, and he even worked with big names outside Jamaica, including Chuck Berry and American rappers KRS-One and Chubb Rock. In 1989, Shaba signed a record deal with Epic Records. He became very popular in Jamaica and also found success in North America with his 1990 album Just Reality. He released more albums after that, like As Raw As Ever and Extra Naked, both of which won Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album in '92 and '93. Some of his most famous songs include Mr. Loverman and Ting-a-Ling, which helped define his style and earned him fans around the world. However, Shaba Ranks' career was shadowed by controversy because of his homophobic lyrics and attitudes. His 1990 song, Wicked in a Bed, included lyrics about shooting gay men, which many found violent and hateful. The situation escalated in '92 when Shaba appeared on the British Channel 4 music show, The Word. During the interview, he was asked about the song Boom Bye Bye by Buju Banton, which also had anti-gay lyrics. Holding a Bible, Shaba said that the Word of God called for the crucifixion of homosexuals. He talked about supporting the progress of Jamaican people and freedom of speech, but suggested that being against homosexuality was justified according to biblical laws. His comments were strongly condemned by the show's host, Mark Lamar, who said, "That's absolute crap and you know it." Because of these remarks, Shaba was blacklisted in the industry. First, he was dropped from a Bobby Brown concert and faced difficulties with his record label, Sony Music. Eventually, Shaba apologized after realizing his words could be seen as encouraging violence not just against gays and lesbians, but any human being. Despite his musical success, this controversy damaged his reputation and led to setbacks in his career. Number 10. Lady Saw. Lady Saw is a Jamaican singer and songwriter whose groundbreaking career has spanned more than 2 decades. She got her stage name in 1987, taking inspiration from the iconic dancehall artist Tenor Saw. Early on, her bold performances caught the attention of producers, and she recorded her first single with Piper. Another early track, Love Me or Left Me, produced by Olive Shaw, gained heavy airplay and helped launch her into the spotlight. Her first real chart success came with hits like If Him Left and Find a Good Man, which paved the way for her debut studio album. In '94, Lady Saw released her first album, Lover Girl, featuring tracks like Stab Up to Meat, but it was her '96 follow-up, Give Me the Reason, that made headlines for its unapologetically explicit lyrics. Songs like Life Without Dick and Name New Stand Fi Sex embraced a raw, sexual honesty that divided critics and fans alike. The album also produced the hits Give Me the Reason, Good Wuck, and Condom, which solidified her reputation as one of dancehall's boldest female voices. In '97, she released Passion, which became her first album to chart on Billboard, peaking at number 8 on the top reggae albums chart. In '98, she released her greatest hits album Raw, the best of Lady Saw, and later that year, she dropped 99 Ways, which also charted on Billboard. That same year, she was reportedly banned from performing in Montego Bay, sparking public backlash and igniting further controversy around her career. Lady Saw's breakthrough in the US came in '99 with the hit Smile, a duet with pop singer Vitamin C. The song reached number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100, went gold, and gained popularity in Canada and New Zealand as well. But her biggest international success came in 2002 with her feature on No Doubt's Underneath It All. The track hit number 3 in the US, sold over 3 million copies, and earned a Grammy Award for Best Performance by a duo or group with vocal. Lady Saw became infamous for her slack performance style, dancehall's term for music that is sexually explicit and provocative. This style led to several of her shows being banned in Jamaica, even as male artists with equally explicit lyrics were allowed to perform freely. In response, she released What is Slackness to define and confront the term, and Freedom of Speech to protest the double standard. Number 11. Mavado. Mavado is a Jamaican singer whose rise to fame in the mid-2000s turned him into one of dancehall's most recognizable and controversial figures. His big break came in 2005 with the release of his debut single, Real McCoy, a gritty anthem that quickly caught fire on Jamaican airwaves and beyond. He followed up with his 2007 debut album, Gangsta for Life, the Symphony of David Brooks, released through VP Records. The album featured hits like Dying, which gained heavy rotation on New York's Hot 97 and introduced Mavado's unique blend of haunting melodies and hard-edged lyrics to a broader audience. But just as his career began to ascend, Mavado found himself embroiled in serious offstage drama. In 2007, he was detained by Jamaican police, and during the arrest, he claimed he was thrown through a glass window, resulting in severe injuries to his hand. According to police reports, Mavado later escaped custody while receiving treatment at the hospital. Days later, he was arrested again and charged with shooting with intent and illegal possession of a firearm. He was released on a $3,000 bail, but the incident led to him being denied entry into the United States for a period of time, severely impacting his ability to tour internationally. Despite the controversies, Mavado's career continued to thrive. In 2011, he signed with DJ Khaled's We the Best music group, which at the time was affiliated with Cash Money and Republic Records. Mavado made appearances on every Khaled studio album from We the Best Forever up through Father of Assad. Throughout his career, Mavado has been no stranger to controversy. However, the one regarding his lyrical content got him blacklisted in the industry. He drew criticism for songs like Batty Boy Termination, which included violent anti-gay rhetoric, as well as for glorifying gun culture, and he also refused to sign the Reggae Compassionate Act. His graphic lyrics and violent themes led to performance bans in several Caribbean nations, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2011. Authorities there mentioned that the island's rising death rate and wave of gun crimes as reasons for blocking his show, stating that Mavado's music could incite further violence. Number 12. Ninja Man. Ninja Man built his career and reputation on razor-sharp lyrics, theatrical delivery, and a persona soaked in controversy. He started his career as a teenage DJ under the moniker Double Ugly with the Black Culture sound system. By the early 1980s, he had joined the famed Kilimanjaro sound system, rubbing shoulders with legends like Supercat and Early B, and began releasing music under the name Ugly Man before settling on the name that would make him infamous, Ninja Man. His first major hit came in 1987 with Protection, a duet with Courtney Melody that showcased a more melodic side to his otherwise menacing presence. But by the late 80s and early 90s, Ninja Man's image had hardened into that of a dancehall outlaw, known for off-the-cuff studio freestyles and electrifying stage clashes. He feuded publicly with other dancehall giants like Shaba Ranks, Florgon, and Supercat, making each beef a high-stakes spectacle. However, Ninja Man's violent image began to cost him. By the early 90s, public outcry against his pro-gun lyrics led to a decline in bookings and industry support, leading him to being blacklisted from the industry. By the late 1990s, his name was often in headlines for all the wrong reasons. He was accused of assault, a charge for which he was later acquitted and implicated in the death of a taxi driver. In '99, he was convicted for illegal possession of a firearm and spent a year behind bars. The mounting pressure pushed him to temporarily reinvent himself as Brother Desmond, performing gospel reggae and claiming to walk a new path. But the transformation didn't last. Ninja Man's turbulent life continued into the 2000s, culminating in his most serious legal trouble. In 2009, he and his son Janiel were arrested for the killing of Ricardo Johnson in Kingston. The trial faced years of delays, procedural setbacks, and mistrials, at one point requiring a pool of 58 jurors. In the meantime, his career took further hits. Even Down Sound Records cut ties with him in 2015. Despite briefly opening a picture frame business, Ninja Man's life remained in limbo until November 2017, when he was found guilty of Johnson's death. A month later, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Do you think these legends' blacklists were fair? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.